I get up from my bed and I'm going somewhere. I'm going to a place where I am going to be alone, where there's going to be no one to disturb me. And I decided this place, and this place is going to be my basement. And as I'm deciding that I'm going to go to my basement, I'm also brainstorming about the pictures which I'm going to fab to. I got up from my bed because I saw a picture of a girl on another NoFab YouTuber's YouTube thumbnail, and because of that, I got this urge of going and fapping. So I am going to the basement for my fab session right now. I go there and I start doing the did. I'm already regretting it, but either way, I end up doing the did. And at the end, now I'm all sweaty, all tired after I fucked my bed sheets, and I'm really feeling bad about it. I'm in that post nut clarity which everybody is, and I'm saying shit things about myself. I'm such a worthless piece of shit. I cannot do anything in life. I have tried it multiple times. It's been literally 4 years. It's been 4 years since I started my nofap journey, and I haven't ever been consistent with it. I just broke my nofap streak, and I keep shitting on myself, telling myself the stories of my losses, the amounts of time I've lost, and then when I finally this drama is over, I go onto YouTube and I'm scrolling and I see this guy, you know, and I see a video from Alex Hermosi about beliefs. And I watch this video, and as I'm watching this video, I'm getting new revelations. He particularly said this one thing: don't judge yourself by your thoughts, rather, judge yourself by your actions. And I was like, I have been judging myself by my thoughts over and over again. Then again, he says one thing, which was, you are the story you tell yourself. Then again, it was a big moment for me. Like, I feel this revelation that has been done to me, and I understand what I was doing wrong. Until now, I've been only telling myself the stories of my losses. I told myself that I just broke my nofap streak. I haven't been consistent with all of the good habits that I was doing. But I never told myself that other time, the other period where I had set a 50-day streak, the other time, the other period of my life where I had been consistent in the gym and I made gains and a lot of other things which I missed. I missed the part where I won. And I over and over again told myself story of my losses rather than telling myself stories of my victories. And after this point, until this point, I hadn't been consistent with any of my good habits. And overnight, in this night, I decided that I'm gonna throw stories and convince my brain that I'm a winner. Till now, I've convinced my brain that I was a fucking loser. But now I'm gonna convince my brain that I am a fucking winner. So I decided that I'm gonna tell the stories of victories to my brain. And overnight, the very next day, as soon as I woke up, I started doing good habits. I started recording videos. Like, I started meditation again. I started doing a lots of things that I was not doing before. And after that day, ever since that day, I have been consistent with my habits. And from that point on, my life changed forever. You might have watched Hamza's video on discipline, the full guide discipline, and you might have watched the full guide by Hamza on discipline, and he told a lot of things that were really, really helpful for me that I applied into my life and they really worked well for me. But the best thing that worked for me was this thing to get me on to a track of being a disciplined person. If it wasn't for that thing, the stories that you tell yourself, I wouldn't be ever disciplined. So I think this is the thing that he should have mentioned in that video, because he before he made this video like a year ago maybe, about how to stay consistent. And in this, he explained the same exact thing about the stories that you tell yourself. And I believe he, even though he knew this, I don't know why he didn't add it. It might have not come to his mind, but this is such a important piece of information that you need to know to get more disciplined. So, what I exactly mean by the stories that you tell yourself, you need to change your identity. You have an identity of a fucking fapper who has fapped multiple times a day, and you keep reinforcing that identity by doing the habits over and over again. Your identity is attached to that habit, so it keeps bringing that habit over and over again into your life. So what you need to do is eliminate, just fucking obliterate this identity, the shit identity that you have about yourself, that makes you do the bad habits over and over again. But instead, what you should do is develop this good identity, which is going to serve you, which is going to make you more disciplined. First, ask yourself this question: what is the outcome that I want? If you are watching this video because of the title, you might want to become more disciplined person. So you need to tell yourself what kind of person is a disciplined, what kind of person does disciplinary acts. So a disciplined person does a disciplinary act. So this is your identity, this is your new identity. Now you should tell yourself that you are disciplined, and repeat these words manually, forcefully into your brain over and over again. So this is how exactly it works. It might seem like woo woo, wishy washy, something like that, but Hamza mentioned this in his one of his video, and it has really worked for me, and it literally changed my life. So it actually works. Trust me, it has worked for me, and it will work for you as well. So what you exactly do in this situation is, instead of just saying you are a disciplined person, like I am a disciplined person, I am a disciplined person, and standing in front of the mirror and like shouting affirmations, it's not that. Instead, what you should do is in this situation is convince your brain that you are actually disciplined. And that is what you do by telling your brain stories about how you are a disciplined person. Not the fake stories, the stories that actually occurred in real life, that your brain knows that actually occurred in real life. For an example, a story like from the past. In my case, I lost weight and I was consistently like being in calorie deficit, and I was just waking up at 5 a.m. and fucking running as fast as I can. And I did it consistently for 2 months. That shows that I'm a disciplined person. So I should repeat that story. Not only that story, I have multiple stories. Like, I have been consistent with the fucking meditation thing. I have been consistent with, exercising. I have been consistent with recording videos daily. I have been consistent with it, and I have been disciplined. I didn't feel like doing it. There have been instances that into your and my life that we didn't feel like doing a certain activity, but we still did that activity because we are a disciplined person. You should like say and repeat these stories and the things that you have done when you didn't feel like doing, that was a disciplinary act, into your mind over and over again. Whenever you are free, just ask yourself, what is the kind of identity or the sets of beliefs that will serve me. Your brain automatically produce these thoughts like, you're a shit person, you've done this. You get the memory from the other time you were feeling embarrassed because you did something shit. You remember the other time you were undisciplined, and you keep repeating those stories into your mind that convinces your brain that you are a fucking loser. Instead, what you should tell your brain is, what is the kind of identity that will serve you and me? And the answer is the kind of identity of a disciplined person, the kind of identity of the desired person like you want to be. And just repeat the instances where you have been that kind of person to yourself over and over again. What it will do is, when you get a thought about doing something shit, like when you if you like, for an example, if you are confronted with junk food, but you have this identity of a disciplined person who does not slack off his diet, so what you would end up doing is, you would say no to that food. And this sounds simple, but this is exactly what will happen into your brain. Your brain will produce thoughts such as, it's fine bro, it's fine. The brain tells you thoughts and you act according to those thoughts, right? So brain tells you automatic thoughts like, it's fine, brother, it's fine to cheat on your diet once in a while. It's no big deal, bro. You don't need to be that extreme. You don't need to be that extreme because you haven't been extreme in the past, right? So you have this identity of a person who is not extreme and slacks off his diet. What exactly will happen is, whenever this kind of thought comes in, your brain will counter that thought with the manual thought that you have inserted into your brain, which is that you are a disciplined person. And because of that, what will end up happening is that you will act according to your identity and according to that thought. Your thought about slacking off of the diet and actually eating the shit food, junk food, will be suppressed. And now you have this thought that you are actually a disciplined person. And what it will do is, you're a disciplined person, you didn't eat the food, that will reinforce your identity that you are actually a disciplined person. Now you have another story that you are a disciplined person because you just, skipped the junk food that was in front of you. And if you do this, you need to do this at least 500 times a day. That's a crucial piece of information that I forgot to tell you. Ask yourself, you have multiple, like you can do it million times a day, literally throughout the day. But I would advise you to just at least do it 500 times a day. You have multiple opportunities that you can do it. Like whilst you are at college, you are like, teacher is teaching you something, but you get random thoughts and you don't even want to pay attention to that shit class, whatever. You think about, what is the kind of identity that will serve me right now. I'm a disciplined person. I'm a disciplined person. The other time I woke up and I at 5 a.m. and I just went on a run. Bare stomach. I hadn't eaten food last night, but I still went on a run, and I did it consistently for 2 months. I was a disciplined person. That's because I'm a disciplined person. And you should also use this because word, because is the word which is like kind of persuasive word. You need to persuade yourself to like convince your brain that you are a fucking winner. And you should say these like multiple things as well about future, which is like, I didn't feel like, I'm not going to feel like doing workout today, but I'm still going to do it. Your brain will produce thoughts, your brain will produce thought that you're not going to work out today, but you should forcefully avoid those, like you can say, those words into your brain, and actually repeat the kind of words which will serve you. Say those great words into your brain over and over again, and you will be that kind of person. You are what you think you are. My objective of this channel is to making people realize their real potential and reigniting that flame that they had as a child. They had dreams, but that is no more their dream. They have small dreams now because their dream was suppressed by other people of the society, the negative people around us. And I want them to know their dream again and get back on their purpose once again as they were as a child. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Join me if you want to. That's all for today.